And the last time we were there, we sat in the waiting room for an hour. It's like 12:01. Lady behind the counter, did you know your appointment was at 12? I sure did!
Well,
like you were going to take me back there right at 12 o'clock. This is a doctor's office. I know you're not bringing me back there till 2:30 is the best case scenario when I'm going to even see the doctor. The doctor's going to come in for 30 seconds and then move on to the next one. And you're like, what the fuck took so long with everybody else? Like, you know.
Everybody out there learning to drive that doesn't have an electric vehicle, if it's getting close to the E, whether the light's on or not, fucking refuel.
I dug so hard. I literally found the name of the contractor on that fucking job. And I called that son of a bitch and I said, you closed this little section. Fuck you. Move your sign back to the other fucking intersection where you're doing it. And he was like, well, we're having trouble with people driving through there. No fucking shit! Because you're being unrealistic with what you're closing and we could see that there's no fucking construction there!
Hi, this is Officer So-and-so from Springersbury Police Department. I just want to let you know that the incident you had earlier with the gentleman, you may see him on the news this evening. As they walk up to the door, this gentleman pulls a shotgun on the state police officer.
Oh, that's a good idea. That's a way to start a conversation. Right? And it's a Tesla in front of me. Right? And it's like...
Not to mention the Tesla should be able to keep itself in between the lines.
I know, right? I'm like, dude, this guy's so drunk, he can't even turn on the self-drive. Boop. And then it's like upset that I didn't put it in the bagging area.
Right.
That's a good one. We should go into that. Warning labels. Yeah. I love it. It's like you have the 10 items or less, self-checkout, and the Karen lane. Like, that's perfect.
I got nowhere to be.
Yeah. I got questions, Lane.
I need a specific part. And it tells me it's in this aisle, in this bay. And now I've got to ask somebody because I'm in that aisle and I'm at that bay and it ain't there. And you're like, this thing don't exist. Because now that I've got to ask somebody, if I can't find it, this guy's not going to find it.
Paper straws. Those goddamn fucking pieces of shit. Anybody who installs a bidet, they have the moment where you have the toilet seat up and you want to turn that lever to test it. Well, you can't test it unless you're sitting on it. All right, here we are, episode 8. Nobody thought we'd make it past 2, or at least I didn't. We're here with Kenny again. He keeps getting the most views, so we're going to keep bringing him back, and he lives right down the street, and he loves doing it. It's because he loves me.
It's cheaper than therapy. That can cost me a dime.
Exactly. But yeah, we have our typical topics. This is not a kid's show. Don't bring your kids here. Late night show, I guess. I've been posted on YouTube, had a lot more luck. Posting at like 11. I post at 9 o'clock, like 0 views. But post at 11, I get 400. So we're going to keep going with the dick jokes, the boob jokes, all of the above. We ain't beeping shit out on the podcast. On the shorts, it automatically beeps them. I don't do it. If you watch the shorts, that beeping, it's not me. When it does the words on the screen, like real big, it automatically like beeps it for some reason.
Oh, I figured that was you because they were spelled wrong.
Fuck you. Fucking mic's wrong. God damn it, you son of a bitch. Zip it.
I didn't even move it. You're the one that was touching shit.
Between the tits. Good Lord. There it is. Perfect. We didn't do an audio check. Say something.
Joe.
All right, I saw it move. That's good enough. It'll be fine. Yeah, so did I miss? Oh, like, subscribe. We got to say that every time. I don't know if it works or not.
And as we've told you before, share it with random people you've never met or scam text messages that you get because, politics are coming up again in 2 years. So
my phone
back to them.
My phone blocks most of the scam stuff now. So it's like I can't, but that'd be hilarious.
Mine does too if I turn the app on from the carrier, but Jen's does not. So she gets all the ones, they just come through.
Jen, you got to help us out. Start sending it out.
Yeah.
We're going to have all these random views
this
from all these other countries where the spam is coming from. We'll be able to figure out where the spams are coming from because it'll be like, oh, all these countries.
Exactly. They're gonna start viewing Joe's podcast, and that's going to show us where they're at. Unless they're on a VPN,
yeah,
it's not going to work.
YouTube does give me the target audience. It's like male. I'm like 25 to like 45. Seems to be where I'm hitting. And I'm
that's
like,
good.
Really? Crazy.
Yeah, I didn't think he'd hit the boomers.
Nah,
their style yet.
Well, if they could figure out how to find the play button,
I mean, Grandma's probably watching
Yeah.
at least once or twice.
Dad says he watched a couple, but I think he watches the shorts. I don't know.
Probably the shorts, yeah.
Hey, Dad, if you can figure it out, put a comment in the bottom. If not, well, Doug will do it.
I was going to say, Doug definitely will.
Doug will be there.
Doug and I are troopers. We're always there.
Right? Just me, you, and Doug hanging out in our basement. He's just digitally
well,
here.
Doug has to get here, yeah. Doug has to come visit again.
We're going to get a picture of Doug and put him back here. Oh, I guess we didn't, for anybody who's, I don't know, has eyeballs, can see Kenny's new addition to the show. I don't know what the fuck was wrong with the original sign. But
it's a piece of shit. Well, it'll still be here for demonstration purposes, but...
I mean, we still need it. You're not making a sub out of this fucking thing.
No.
But, well, there's that. All right. I don't know how he did it. He brought it over, plugged it in. He engineered it himself here to keep it straight. So please enjoy our background entertainment. Yep. Every time I look at it, the dick comes up. It's every time I look.
We can put it straight on the name so that it
No, I love it. I love it. Because, like, at some point in one of the shorts, you're going to see, like, a dick come up. Like,
right across.
I'll, like, end the short with that, like, with the dick at the end.
Well, and I figured the little angry guy, that's you. Yeah. And the guy with the battery, that's Maddie, actually. That's Maddie sitting over here dealing with you.
Yeah. Well, see, you did it wrong. You spelled everything right. So everybody's going to know I didn't do it.
Well, yeah, you didn't program the sign. But I'm leaving it here, and you have access to it, so you can program it to say whatever for the next person that arrives.
Yep. I'm going to figure that out. It'll be like the buttons.
Complaint!
We are getting so technical around here.
Exactly.
I love it.
That's a good thing.
After episode 10, I'm doing something. I was thinking about moving the set, maybe. We'll see.
So after episode 10, Joe's going to put me to work, and I get to do manual labor. Is my benefit for this show continuing on, is what he's saying. I'm going to get to clear that corner of the basement out.
Maybe I should, instead of episode, I'll do it on subscriber. If we make it past 100 subscribers, right now I'm at 48?
47, 48,
Yeah,
somewhere last
something
I
like
looked,
that.
yeah.
One day, I got like 9 or 10. I don't know what I did that day, but I need to do that day again.
Right.
But I don't know what, I think it was that one short we had that went like 15, went crazy. But they're probably here for the bitching and not here for the
Well, that's what it's
channel.
for,
But we
yeah.
gotta give a channel update because it's like, you're the core members right now. You're here at the beginning, at the start. This is before we've launched any rockets.
Exactly.
These are our core members. I left the light on back there, but that's okay.
Doesn't
At least I
matter.
didn't leave these lights on. That would drive me nuts. I'd watch the edit and wouldn't be able to handle it. So did you have any? I think you had one. You said
I have
you might
one.
want to bring up. You want to start with yours? Mine are okay. I didn't order them though. I didn't have time to order them because it's gonna snow later. So we had to do the show a little earlier.
And
so-
this is why Joe invites me, because it's going to snow and nobody else wants to drive to his house, because his driveway is like this into the street.
pretty much. Gotta get that Amish guy.
What are you talking about?
So my complaint is, last time I was here and it snowed, I left here to go pick up food, right?
Yeah.
And you know how when you get to those little crosswalks, there's a stop there so you can let the people cross. But typically it's right next to where cars pull out as well.
Oh yeah.
So I stopped for this person to come across, and this car decides they're just going to come over here. And I'm like, no. Like, you didn't stop for that person in the crosswalk.
Yeah.
Just because I stop doesn't mean you get to run them over.
Yeah.
And then they give me a dirty look because I beeped the horn at them.
No. They deserve a beep.
Yeah.
I'm pretty liberal with my beeps. Or what conservative? I don't beep a lot. I think I used
you're
it
frugal
backwards.
with your beeps.
I'm frugal with my beeps. We don't need to do it.
I am too, because I don't want to, look, last time I beeped the horn at somebody, now here's a story for you.
Okay.
Last time I beeped the horn at somebody, we were sitting at one of those, so the lights in New York, they've changed to those flashing yellow lights now that, if it's flashing, yield whatever, flashing green or whatever.
Yeah.
So we're sitting there, lights flashing, nobody coming. I beeped the horn at this guy. He decides to pull over finally because he's been sitting there for 20 fucking minutes at the light while it's blinking. Then he's shooting me finger guns out the window.
Oh, boy.
So then I'm like, all right, so we pull into GameStop. He follows me into GameStop, tells me he's going to kill me, kill my family, have the pagans come kill us all.
Goodness.
Hold on, this story ain't even started yet.
This is going to be worse than one of those Rick stories.
This is almost a Rick story.
Oh my God.
But Rick would be the guy in the car. So we get to the point. I'm a GameStop, and I'm just there to buy a refurbished Switch before our last cruise. It was the last cruise we went on together. So I'm buying the Switch so we can go on the cruise so I can play games because I'm not a people person.
Yeah, I know.
Now I got to deal with this person who's yelling at me that they're going to kill me in the parking lot because I beeped the fucking horn at him for sitting at a red light when it was their turn to go. And he's yelling. He's like, there's a car coming. And I was like, look, it's not my fault. You can't drive, man. So he got a little upset. He left. Jen calls the cops while this is going on.
Why not?
So the cops show up. They take the information. They get his license plate and everything from the dash cam because we have the dash cam of him basically like finger gunning out the window and all that shit.
Oh, yeah.
So Jen turns, all that into the cop and stuff. I get a phone call that night. I get a voicemail. And the cop says, hi, this is Officer so-and-so from Springersbury Police Department. I just want to let you know that the incident you had earlier with the gentleman, you may see him on the news this evening.
What?
Yeah. So then he proceeds to tell me what happened. In this part, I wish I'd answered the phone. Because he's telling me, he's like, look, he goes, we ran the registration of the car.
Yeah.
We found, whose car it is, and we're going to go ask them who they lent it to, that kind of deal.
Oh, yeah.
So
it wasn't his car.
Wasn't his car. It was somebody else's car.
Shocking.
Yeah, I mean.
That's really when I want to get in trouble, when I'm borrowing somebody else's car. That way the cops call you.
Exactly. So they show up at this house to ask this person who you loaned your car to, and apparently he's staying there. So probably a girlfriend, boyfriend, family member, whatever. And at this point, the state police, are the one, it's their jurisdiction for this area, so it's not Springersbury, but as they walk up to the door, this gentleman pulls a shotgun on the state police officer.
Oh, that's a good idea. That's a way to start a conversation.
Like, this is a good thing for him. So it went from just a slight beep of the horn to this guy's going to jail for a felony firearm charge because he pulled a shotgun on a state police officer. And they found white powdery substance, so probably meth.
Yeah. That was probably most of it.
Then I went to court for it. Well, not even really court, just like pretrial motions, whatever. And they were like, we're just going to waive your harassment because the gun charge of pulling the gun on the state police is a higher offense. And I was like,
gets you out of it then.
Fuck around, find out, I guess.
Yeah. Well, you find the winner then, right? I mean, it was like I was coming home from Philly, and on my way home, there was this Tesla driver in front of me. I don't know if I told this story to you. I think I told it to Mom and Dad yesterday. But I was on my way home from Philly, and it was like a similar situation there, where it's like, well, if you call the cops, then you're involved, right? So it was like I was coming home from Philly, do wedding videos in Philly. So I was coming on my way home. It was late, right? It's like midnight, something like that. I'm driving. And honestly, I never maybe I've seen a drunk driver, but never obvious enough where you're giving them like 10 car lengths, where you're like, this guy, for sure, right? We're on the highway. It's 76, right? Like, we're moving. We're not, 40. We're like 70, 80, right? And it's a Tesla in front of me, right? And it's like,
not to mention the Tesla should be able to keep itself in between the lines.
I know, right? I'm like, dude, this guy's so drunk, he can't even turn on the self-drive. Like, if there was one car that could get you home without a DUI.
Or he's that drunk, he's like, I don't need you telling me where to go, motherfucker. I'll do what I want.
Fucking Elon's trying to make me look sober.
Yeah, I'll go where I want. I see the lines, all of them.
All 6 of them out there, right? Oh, I was like, what the fuck? So I don't know what the fuck was going on with that guy. And then again, I was like, what do you do? Like, do you call the cops or whatever? And then it's just like, they're going to be like, come to court and all this shit. I'm like, nope. I just put the car in fucking I don't know, whatever it is, sport mode or whatever. I waited for my opportunity and then fucking gunned it past the sumbitch, got off the next exit and was like, all right.
I don't blame you in that case, but I will say that I
feel like a bad person, but like, dude.
I'm like, do I need to get involved? Should I get involved? But I'll tell you what, I had that same instance, and we did get involved, and I think it's just because every time we've been involved and called the police, my wife is there. She's the more sane of the two. But we had that happen. We watched a guy literally bounce off a guardrail in a truck. So we're coming down the road. It's Thanksgiving, like 2 years ago. We're heading down to my cousin's house. We're coming down through. We see this truck just go bouncing off the fucking guardrail. And like Because at first he's kind of swerving, and Jen's like, maybe he's drunk. And I was like, I don't know, maybe he's just having a bad
what time
day.
is it?
It's like 11 in the morning because we're getting ready to go down for dinner.
Well, when I have my first drink.
Yeah, it's like 11 in the morning. So we're in the middle of nowhere. We're in Crowley. So we're in Crowley, and all of a sudden this car is just, kind of swerving. So I'm like, maybe he's just not familiar with the area because it's a small fucking town.
Yeah.
And then he bounces off the guardrail, and I'm like, okay, well, maybe not. So Jen calls 911, and they're like, okay, well, where are you? So now I've become a witting participant in a slow speed drunk chase down through the town, because basically they're like, well, where are you? I'm going to try to figure out what jurisdiction so we can get somebody behind him.
Yeah.
So we actually go the whole way from Crowley down to 74 down in Brogue area.
Oh, wow.
And as we get down there, we watch him like try to get away from us. Like, you can, at this point, he knows we're following him.
Yeah.
Or he's at least paranoid enough because he's drunk that he thinks we're following him.
Yeah.
So he tries to like dart off real quick, and he almost hits a car on his way. So then we're like, okay, we'll just casually get behind him, keep following him. And now the 911 operator's like, okay, I got a state police officer. He's right down the road. He's like 2 driveways or so in front of you. Just all you got to do is let the cop pull out in front of you, and then follow the cop until he pulls him over, and then he'll get your information. So I was like, okay, cool. So we get behind him. The cop follows him for like 2 miles. Pulls out in front of us, like follows him for like 2 miles. Just because that way, if he sees him do
then the
something-
cop's got to see it too. Yeah.
Exactly. So the cop pulls him over, finally gets him out, and at this point you can tell the guy is having trouble standing beside the car and everything. So I pull up, I'm sitting there, and the guy's, doing his thing, and I'm just sitting there eating my popcorn, watching the show. And the cop's like, hey, can I get your information, whatever. So I give him all my stuff, and he's like, okay, thanks for reporting, you can go on. I'm like, I don't really want to leave you. Like, I kind of want to see what goes on to the rest of this, but
It's like stopping halfway through the movie. You're like, I want to see the end.
I want to see what happens. I want to
Yeah.
see if he falls over. So the best part is, like, as you said, then you end up getting hemmed up in it. So then I get a
I
subpoena
know.
for
I was
court and
like,
everything.
man, it was already like midnight. I'm like,
But I got lucky in this case. It wasn't this guy's first offense. At 11 o'clock in the morning when you're drinking and you
right.
crash into the guardrail. not first
yeah,
offense.
probably not.
So apparently he decided not to fight the charge, and at that point they never needed me anyway. But either
Oh,
way,
yeah.
I mean, I had my wife sitting in the car. We
Yeah.
had the cop following for 2 miles,
Yeah.
and we watched him bounce off the guardrail. So what are you going to say? Nah, it wasn't me. Like,
I didn't see it. Like,
a bee bit me on the hand, then I just swerved a little, bruh.
it was like the one time I got pulled over coming home from, I think we were driving from Florida or something like that, coming home and coming up through Virginia. Worse, there's like a million cops. I think the only way that fucking state makes any money is pulling people over like traveling 95. Like, they know it's just a flyover state or whatever, but it's a drive-through state. Like, nobody's stopping in Virginia on purpose. I think they have a beach or some shit. Maybe you do. But goddamn it, I'm fucking pissed now. So fuck you. You pulled me over like 3 times in that fucking state. Fuck that fucking state. But anyways, I'm coming up and I'm driving along, right, or whatever, and then woo, fucking behind you, and you're like, well, probably. I don't fucking know, dude. Like, I've been driving for 16 fucking hours. Like, I don't know how fast I was going. Whatever. I had cruise control set or whatever. So it pulls me over and then comes up the side of the fucking car. And it's like, the first question he asks, like, usually it's like, hey, this reason I pulled you over or whatever. No, this fuckface, like, leans up the window and goes, everything all right in there? I'm like, what kind of question is that? Like, well, yeah, till you fucking pulled me over. I was doing
all right
great.
now,
I
yeah.
was making great fucking time, Like, what did he expect me to say? Like, yeah, the bee bit me on the hand. No, a fucking squirrel jumped across the thing, so I just slammed on the fucking gas. Like, what the fuck did he want me to say?
That's almost like what dumb things cops say sometimes, and then dumb things we say back. Because I'll tell you what, Rick got this.
That
new
could
car.
be a whole show. Dumb shit cops say, and then the shit you say back.
Exactly. So Rick got this new car, and he's like, hey, you want to go for a ride in this new car? And I was like, cool, we'll go for a ride. We go down to Cool Creek Hill, and he's like, why don't you take it for a ride and see how it is? I get in, we go to the top of the hill. I'm maybe going a little faster than I should be. I hear the cop coming. I'm used to driving a stick. Rick's car's an automatic. At this point, I decide, well, I'm going to pull over for the cop. And I go to reach for the clutch, and we just stop instantly.
Oh, fuck. What'd you do? Put it in...
So Rick almost flies through the windshield as we're sitting there. And then the cop must not have saw this, because while Jen's in the back seat, she's like, did you just brake check a cop? And I'm like, not on purpose. Calm down. Like, I didn't do this to
Yeah.
get his attention.
They've got to be used to that, though. I'm pretty sure every time a cop's gotten behind me, I've hit the brakes just as a fucking, like, fuck me. You
Well,
know?
in this case, they're like, I came to a dead stop real quick.
Oh,
We went from
yeah.
like 60 miles an hour to 0 quick.
Yeah.
But so he comes up and he must not have noticed because he's like, hey, license, registration. And he's like, do you know why I stopped you? And I was like, yeah, it's probably going a little fast. I was like, this is his car, not used to driving it. And he just got it. So, my bad.
Yeah.
And he goes, do you have any points or anything in your license? And I'm like, not currently, but you're about to. So he goes back, gets all this stuff, brings it back up. And Rick looks at me and goes, did you just tell that cop not currently? I was like, yeah, because I don't have points right now, but we're about to.
He's about to fix that problem. Yeah. I don't know if I have points or not. I don't know how to check that shit.
Well, it falls off after time.
Oh,
I've been there.
Yeah.
The worst points are
I mean,
running
maybe
through
I
stop
have. I don't
signs
know.
or
I
red
think I've
lights.
always been pulled over out of state, though, when
Yeah,
I've been
they
more
typically
than
don't
like.
transfer, yeah.
Because it's not till like over 10 mile an hour that you get points or something like that. I don't know.
It depends on the cop, but it also, if you're out of state, they don't usually transfer the points to our state anyway, so nobody even tries or wastes the time.
Yeah, because one time was Jersey, the other time was Maryland, and then the other 3 fucking times was fucking Virginia. Like, I don't drive through that state often, so that's how fucking just every time now I just cruise control through that whole fucking state. Like, I'm losing 3 hours. I know it. I've budgeted for fucking Virginia. Like,
Virginia's for lovers, not complaints. So if they see Joe coming, he's getting a ticket.
right? For lovers, because the cops are going to fuck you, all right?
Pretty much, they're going to bend you over, no lube, just whoop, right on in.
No lube. They're going to ask you, everything all right in there? Oh,
It'll be like that.
Yeah.
Right there.
There it is. Now it'll make the short, you fuck. If I turn that into a short.
Complaint!
Yeah.
All right, so that was my first. I guess it took a whole turn into
I don't
other
even remember
shit,
what
but we started out with
honking,
crosswalk and
though.
the horn, and then it
Yeah,
just.
I don't remember because I hardly
But that's
ever.
why I'm frugal with my horns, because I ended up in court and everything else for road rage and all that.
Right, like, dude,
Just because I'm like trying to be nice and be like, get the fuck out of my way, but
yeah, I'm like frugal with the horn because it's like some people are so liberal with it. Like, there, I used it right now. But that it's just like, dude, you're not expected now. It's like, dude, everybody fucks up. Like, I've had somebody pull out or whatever, and it's like, dude, I've got the eye contact with you. I don't need the horn. Like, we looked at each other, and you go, not. And I'm like,
I can
that's
tell
all I
you
needed.
feel like shit. I
Yep,
can
it's
tell
like,
you feel like a dick.
I fucking been there. It's early or
Now,
whatever.
if that happens and I look at you and you're like,
Yeah, when you're like, "Boot," and it was your fucking fault.
Right.
Oh, fuck you,
then
bro.
I'm like, I'll fucking chase you down.
yeah. I'm going to pull a Rick and poop in your fucking driveway.
Exactly.
What are you talking about?
No.
I mean, I guess if they haven't seen that
Like-
episode yet.
Lead labels. Oh, yeah. That was good. That was good. We went with that one. That one was pretty good.
Cops
Yeah,
are
but-
usually,
Oh,
I've
dude,
dealt with them
cops could
numerous
be
times.
like a whole fucking episode.
and there's nothing wrong with cops. I have a
I
friend that's a
mean,
cop too, but the whole
right.
thing is that you get to the point where you're like, it's every job. There's good and there's bad. There's some that do it really well, and there's some that just are there for the check.
There's some that are there for the check, and then some that are good at it, and then just like the assholes. Like every industry has that fucking asshole, and you're just like, man, but that's like the only asshole that can really cost you money, right? You're like, I mean, last time I was pulled over, the cop was cool. It was like I was going like 10 or 15 over, and he marked it down to 5. And he's just like, all right, there we go, right? But he literally wrote it in the notes, because I think this cop's probably gone to court before, right? Where he wrote like, listen, you were going like 60 and a 30. I knocked it down to 35, but I put it in the fucking notes that you were going 60.
So that you don't try to like fight it in court and be like, see, I was only going 5 miles.
Right.
This shouldn't even be anything major.
Yeah, exactly. Like, don't fucking wake me up in court, and I'll be like, fuck you, right here in the notes, some bitch. And I'll be like, all right, Ossifer, yes, sir. And I think, like, that one I had a chance to, like, pull off to the side, find a nice spot where it's like, we can get out, we can have a conversation, we can have a little party if you want.
So my favorite interaction with cops with you is leaving
Oh, fuck you.
the Jebediah premiere.
Dude, don't even fucking start. That's a whole fucking situation. I could run out this fucking podcast with
But
that
I'm
story.
saying, like, that story is a good one. So let's
I
first-
forgot about
Let's
that
start
story.
off with Jebediah was a short, maybe not short, but horror film that Joe worked on.
It was full length.
It was a full-length film. It wasn't bad.
supposed to be.
You can get it on, at one point, you could get it on Amazon Prime. I
could.
don't know if you can anymore. But
Shout out Joe Ripple. Let's do it.
Joe Ripple, yeah.
I think I get
Time
was
Warp Productions.
Yeah. After the money, the film made all its money back, which the budget was like 15 grand or something like that. I was supposed to get royalties. Like, I have like a thing that says I get like 1 cent from every dollar or something.
Sweet. So put it out. I'll buy a couple copies. Joe gets a penny or two. We're good to go.
We'll buy a new sign.
Yeah.
It'll still be paper.
We'll upgrade this one again to something new.
Anyways,
But-
I interrupted.
No, so basically, just for background purposes for everybody
Yeah.
out there. So Joe made this film, and they're doing a showing in Gettysburg. So we're like, oh, cool. Like, they rented out a theater. We're going to do this showing this horror movie that we know somebody that made it. We go to see it. Now, that movie could be an entire episode itself, but we're not going to get into that. What we're going to get into is, on the way to the film, as we're leaving, we all decide to meet up at Joe's parents' house to drive together. So we drop in Joe's vehicle. We all ride there. And on the way, there's a fire down the road from your parents' house. So the one road is closed
Yeah.
because of the fire. And the other road is closed because they're redoing the road at the high school.
Yeah.
So they're doing construction.
Yeah.
So there's only one extra exit to this place, and it's down past where the fire is technically. So we
Yeah.
go, we leave. We get to the movie theater. We leave the movie theater. We come back. Joe decides he's going to break the law. He's going to just go up to where the road is closed because the sign is there.
shorter.
And in his defense, he tried to say that there was a fire there before, which there was earlier in the day prior to the movie.
It's like 5 hours ago. It could have still been smoldering.
It could have been. So Joe goes around this sign. It's a road closed sign. Joe goes around it. As he goes around it, we see the lights. Woo! Now we end up in Joe's parents' driveway with the cop behind us in Joe's parents' driveway with Joe's parents coming out, one of them not sober, and
Dead.
yelling at the cop.
Yeah.
And at that point, he's arguing with Joe, and I will let Joe bitch about the rest because...
All right, so there's a little bit more. Sorry to make this a deep story, but god damn it, it's a deep fucking story. We're going in. You guys are only ankle deep. We're going up to the neck. All right, so I was living at my parents' house at the time. Now, up the road, they closed this small section of road that, like, now I have, that's under construction, that I have to literally drive like 10 minutes out of the way because of this little strip of road that they closed. How long is that strip of road? 30?
Yeah, it
maybe
was only a couple feet.
Like a quarter mile of road.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. That
it
they
was maybe a
closed.
football
but
field.
now I've literally got to drive all through town, down by the river, like all the way around.
And in your defense, typically they do say road closed except local traffic.
Exactly.
This one did not say that because if it did, as close as they were to the sign, it would have been local traffic. But it didn't.
Exactly. Like, dude, and there's So, anyways, this road closed, right? It's been closed for like 3 months, right? And the construction isn't even in that part of the road. It's like down further
It is,
where
yeah.
they're doing it. They're like replacing a bridge or something. Has nothing to do with that little section of road. I literally got a hold of the guy. I was so fucking unemployed and pissed all at the same time. I was like, you fuckers have got the wrong... Like, a week goes by and you're like, whatever, driving through town. 2 weeks go by, driving through town. 3 weeks go by, you're like, driving through town. You're like, after a fucking month! Motherfucker! Like, I dug so hard. I literally found the name of the contractor on that fucking job. And I called that son of a bitch and I said, you closed this little section. Fuck you. Move your sign back to the other fucking intersection where you're doing it. And he was like, well, we're having trouble with people driving through there. No fucking shit! Because you're being unrealistic with what you're closing, and we can see that there's no fucking construction there! And I'm tired of driving around it! You fuck!
Talking about.
That's what the fucking construction guy said. So then I'm like, fuck this!
So this is how pissed Joe is prior to the cop incident.
Before we went to the premiere was the 3 months down the road. That son of a bitch still had that section closed. They put a backhoe in the way. When they were done with construction, they parked a backhoe in the way of our road so we couldn't go up there and make this right turn that wasn't hurting anybody. And then you're like, oh, well, Joe, they didn't let anybody go through there. Bullshit! It was right where the school was, so they would let the school buses full of children drive through this dangerous construction area
That's a good thing.
And I'm like, this is bullshit. So I contacted my state rep. What the fuck is his name? Stan something.
Stan Sailor at the time, yeah.
Yeah. And he's like, well, there's nothing I can do about it. I'm like, God damn it. So on my way home, the one fucking time I thought I could drive through that fucking area, there was a fucking cop sitting there, and he pulled me over. So Dad wasn't the only one with a few fucking words for that fucking cop that was sitting there probably waiting for fucking me. He probably knew my name already. I lost. You fight the law, and the law won. That's... Jesus,
Joe
got me excited there.
Joe went to the extent to everything he just railed about there. He did go to the extent to videotape the school bus going through the same road closed barrier. He let them know that, it was okay for them, but not him. And the judge said, well, fuck you, Joe. You shouldn't be making shitty movies in Gettysburg.
That's exactly what happened. I did go to court and try and fight it. Judge was like, nope, you went really fine. I'm like, no, I'm going to burn your... Can't say that, but... If there was one fucking time I was really fucking pissed and really unemployed and had way too much time on my hand, it was then.
I'll never forget that movie, though. No matter what, I'll never forget the movie. Not even just the baby stomping. But
No, there is... Like, it's an opening scene, I think,
Yeah.
or like part of the second opening scene. There's like two opening scenes in that movie.
It's like the first. It's when they show up to the food stand.
Yeah, but they have the barn, and then the kids
Yeah,
drive in.
yeah.
Then there's the introduction of the killer again,
Yeah.
kind of thing, and he stomps a baby. And just like throws the car seat up. Nobody's going to watch it. But if you want to, maybe this will interest anybody.
Yeah,
Go
I mean,
look
if you've
up
never seen a baby
Jebediah.
getting stomped, look and see if you can find Jebediah. We highly recommend watching the baby get stomped because it's pretty much how Joe felt that night when the cop pulled him over after he went around the road closed sign again.
Right? A little behind the scenes. He takes this is part of the movie, but behind the scenes, takes the baby seat, rips it out of the car, throws it on the ground. He already murdered their parents. And now he's like, well, we got to take care of that next generation, and throws the baby seat on the ground, and there's a baby in there. It was obviously a prop, but then just his big fat foot crushes it. You see the blood squirt out. It's hilarious. Behind the scenes, he only had one. We only had one baby, one fake baby. So he had to fucking do it the first shot. Like that was it. So he hit it so hard with his foot, he twisted his ankle. He
Oh
was
my God.
out of production for like a week, I think. It was like, well, we got the shot, but now we have to shoot around it, I think.
Now you need a stunt foot.
Yeah, it's like our big scary killer is supposed to be running, and he's like hobbling around. Like,
Right? That damn baby.
yeah. But shout out to Joe Ripple for giving me an opportunity right out of film school. Joe Ripple was awesome. He actually does Scares That Care now, which is a charity, helps kids with cancer and all kinds of like uncurable diseases. It's a great charity. I mean, I've donated money to it, and like...
And I've seen the movie at least
yeah.
once, multiple times, and I will say it's a very good film for what it is, for an indie film, and it's a great watch.
Yeah.
As somebody who watches B horror movies, I've seen way worse that have way worse storylines. This was shot very well. The director of photography was a little new, but whatever. That happens.
Complaint!
God damn it. But yeah, and we had a lot of fun. He was just a great person to work with. But
But yeah, the moral of the
We
story
coulda had a
is
better-
don't ride
better-
around road closed signs.
Guy could have had more experience. Like if I had to light it now, it's like, Joe, if you want to make another one, you send me the script, buddy. I'm sure he's watching. Yeah, all 6 people that watch.
Well, you're
this.
hoping that you get some subscribers there.
There we go.
Joe
right?
might join.
I'll
We'll
send
to
it.
Joe Ripple.
I'll send it to Joe Ripple and be like, dude, you got a whole segment here of stomping babies.
Jebediah, yeah.
Stomping babies, but now he saves babies. So it's like he's making up for it.
Yeah, you killed one.
Ironically-
saving 7.
He was a cop before.
Well, then he's going to love that segment right before this.
Maybe I'm not sending it to. We hate cops. Actually, he's a really nice guy.
He's
Like,
going to enjoy that part just before this. Where we were
Dude,
like, those
he'd be-
cops, the dumb shit they say?
dude, I wonder if he'd come on the show with old cop stories.
Why not?
I mean, I don't know. I got a lot of ideas, but a lot of people that don't message me back. I
Well-
think he would. Like, he'd be real cool about it.
We could probably send it to.
Yeah, maybe. We'll see. Wants to get a little bigger, maybe. I don't know.
So the other thing-
Doug made me feel real good about myself because he's like, I mean, technically, we got like 41,000 views on the channel overall with all the shorts and everything. And he's like, dude, that's like a Pittsburgh stadium full of people. I was like, that's cool,
So the best part is we were talking about driving and everything else prior to this, right there. But I think you let out the story about the time we ended up on the highway by ourselves.
Jesus, I gotta stop having you on the show. You know too much shit about me.
Because
you son of a bitch.
I was there.
I know. I gotta stop inviting you to shit.
So, and I'm going to bring this story up because we're talking about snow. And at one point, Joe did mention this on one of the episodes that when you go to D.C. in the snow, they just put all the snow in one fucking lane.
They don't know where to put it.
They don't tell you what to do. They don't tell you anything. They just put it in the lane. So we're driving down through. It's a snowy day. We have nothing to do. So we're like, hey, Joe, what are you doing? Let's go to the Smithsonian. So we go down to the Smithsonian. On the way down, Joe almost blows into a snow barrier because, they just put it everywhere.
Well, they don't tell you this.
Tell you. And then not only that, Joe probably ran a couple red lights that day because if you've ever been to D.C., the lights are on the right-hand side, like way at the fucking top.
Like, see how you can't see my hand? That's what I do with the fucking
You'd be like, oh, officer, you meant that? I didn't even see it.
It's
didn't
so
even know it was
bad.
there. So this day, Joe probably did some illegal things anyway. But we get done Smithsonian, we got to leave. And at this point, we're like, hey, Joe, you're getting a little close to E. Should we stop and top off the gas anywhere? No. What was this? The Kia Sportage?
That was the Sportage, I think.
So
yeah.
Kia Sportage. He's like, no. The Kia Sportage has this low fuel light that pops up when it's time to refuel.
Every car has a low fuel light.
So we're like, all right, well, I mean, you drive this car every day. You drive it from Philly to here to whatever. So I guess I trust you. It's your vehicle, right? So we're watching DVDs as we drive up the road while Joe's driving. And all of a sudden, Joe's car just starts like...
Like, what the hell's wrong?
And he's like, what's wrong? And I'm like, well, are you out of gas? And he's like, nah, the light didn't come on, nothing.
No low fuel light yet?
Yeah, no low fuel light, nothing. So I get out. Joe and I push this car over to the side of the road. Calls his dad to come take a look at it. Dad comes out of gas.
It's a real technical term, all right? See, that's probably what started all my hating gas engines thing, right? With the spark plug and whatever.
This is why Joe got a Tesla, because he never wants me to tell the story of having to push his car off the highway, wait for his dad to bring us gas, because he didn't listen to us to fill it in D.C. before we left. Now, so that light never came on.
No.
We were out of gas.
Technically, I took it to the service center. It was still under warranty. The light was burnt out. Still the gauge was like, wonk. But still,
Everybody out there learning to drive that doesn't have an electric vehicle, if it's getting close to the E, whether the light's on or not, fucking refuel.
Don't you feel like, though, if you let it get close to the E, you've less fuel in the tank, the car is lighter, I'm getting better mileage, all right? If I fill it up, I'm getting worse gas mileage. I'm carrying around all this extra gas I don't need.
That'd be like saying I fill it up just a little bit because it runs on the fumes. So all I need is just a little bit in there to keep making fumes. Yeah, exactly. I don't have to fill it the whole way as long as the light hasn't been triggered yet.
It still goes downhill. It's fine.
Yeah, it went downhill great. It just didn't go up the on-ramp that we had to push it.
Where the gas station was. It was
yeah,
fine.
We didn't make it, too.
We didn't make it. Oh, man.
All right,
You're never going to let me forget that story, though.
No, it's actually memorialized in YouTube now. Thank you very much.
That's what...
What are you talking about? That's a good thing.
That's the one.
That's the one you wanted.
All right, so I've taken up enough time on topics. So what do you got to bitch about today?
I don't know. You blew through a bunch of them. I don't know if any of them are as funny as that. I don't know. Like I have a few. All right, I have two that I want to bring up with you. We'll start with this one that might be a small topic. Then the other one maybe not. So this first one, and it's stupid, and I kind of touched on it with Jen a little bit, but now we're getting to the tech end of it, right? You're going to understand the computer, maybe understand a little bit more. Now, when I take an item and I'm at the grocery store, and I go, boop, we're at self-checkout. Yeah. Because you have to, because there's only one cashier, line of 10 people. You're not doing that. I only have a candy bar. Boop. And then it's like upset that I didn't put it in the bagging area.
Right.
Why? Who gives a like if I don't want to use a bag or whatever, like why do you give a fuck where I put it?
Well,
why does it care?
It's
like
for
I
loss
have
prevention.
to. Huh?
It's for loss prevention is the reason.
What?
And actually, it's funny. I just read this article the other day. A guy got arrested because what he did was he literally took a barcode of like lettuce and put it on his ring. So every item, he's like, boop, boop, boop. And eventually the bag doesn't weigh what it thinks it should weigh. So it knows that you're not buying what you should be. This motherfucker got
What?
caught because he's like, boop, the TV was $12.99.
Wow.
But that is why it is. It's because it's basically trying to say, okay, you scanned the barcode. Now I need to make sure that you're putting it in the bag so that you're not just putting extra stuff in the bag and scanning one thing. It wants to try to weigh the bag to guess. But typically that can go away because it depends on the
You
register.
can just hit skip bagging.
Yeah, sometimes you can hit skip bagging, but
Yeah.
if that's why the original purpose of it was.
Yeah.
But now they got all those people just watching on the cameras that are like, all right, I saw him.
Yeah, I got one time it like the camera above, and then it showed me a video that I didn't put it in the bag, or was trying to be like, you didn't put it in the bag. I'm like, if I'm gonna steal shit, I'm not gonna do it right here. Like I'm gonna like sneak out the bag. I don't know.
You wouldn't, but there's other people.
Like
man.
I go to work. I don't fucking like. I don't like 90%, 95% of us are just trying to get the fuck out of here. And you inconvenience 95% of us for the 5% of us that actually follow the goddamn rules.
Because the problem is those 5% would make the store pretty much bankrupt for the other 95% of us that actually have to show up there to get the shit that we don't want to be there for in the fucking first place.
Obviously. They were obviously stealing all the goddamn eggs. That's why they're so fucking expensive now.
Yeah, right?
That's not political, is it? I mean,
Nah.
it's not. It's fucking
the,
eggs.
The eggs are expensive because of bird flu. It has nothing to do with politics.
Oh,
This
okay.
they're
Is that why
calling-
all the chickens are dead so we can't make any eggs?
It's the avian flu for bird flu, basically.
Is that why?
They have
Everybody's
to-
making a big deal
They
out
have
of
to
it.
kill
and
all
it's
the
like,
millions of chickens, and it takes a while for that to reestablish a farm full of chickens that lay eggs again. Whereas, like, we're having wings tomorrow for the superb owl, and but those wings though, those chickens only take like 7 weeks to make, and then you chop them up and eat them again. And that's the thing. Like, as the longer the chicken has to get older to be able to lay eggs, those older chickens are more susceptible to bird flu than the younger ones that are just going to be raised up for wings. So wing
So wait,
stop
there's a
is
certain
good.
chicken that, like, I guess they have to be a certain age before they start laying eggs. I mean, a little.
Yeah.
They start this big, they get this big, they ain't making eggs. They make tiny little eggs.
I don't know about tiny. Well, I mean, my parakeet will make you a tiny little egg. You won't like that, but I mean, I imagine that there's a chicken that makes tiny little eggs somewhere.
You see robin eggs. I've seen them, like, people sell them, but I don't think you can sell them in grocery stores, can you?
Why would you want to eat a robin egg? Like, you looking to eat a
fucking
robin?
know.
Like,
I've seen
what are you
the-
going to make out of a
Really?
robin egg? You looking to make a scrambled
I don't-
fucking pinky? Like,
I don't know what the egg was.
all right, so
It's like a little egg, though.
you had a
There's a
tiny
tiny
egg, like-
fucking chicken somewhere laying these little spotted eggs.
So if you had a tiny little egg from a tiny chicken, what are you gonna make with it? Like, are you gonna raise it up to be a miniature chicken, or are you just gonna eat it? Like, because if you crack that thing open, we're gonna put it in a shot glass.
Maybe. I don't. Maybe I'm making fun-sized eggs to fucking go with the fun-sized candy bars I have that are this fucking big.
Oh, so Joe's basically cracking these to get little tiny chickens to make Cadbury eggs. Is what I do.
Yeah, those little fuckers. Dude, how do they wrap those fucking things? Like, they're always got that foil that's, like, wrapped all like that. Is it done by hand? Because
It's got to be kids or something. They gotta be like paying a 12-year-old,
It's like, and then it's a bitch to get it, and it always rips. You never get it in one
right?
piece.
Well, it's
And
you
like,
almost imagine it's just like it comes along.
Here we go.
The thing, and it's like,
oh, Jesus Christ.
and then when we get it, we're like, oh god, it takes forever.
It's like, what do they do in
get
the
it
factory to get that to fucking work? This sign is never going to survive the year.
What are you talking about?
I think the crinkles will help. Look at that!
Look, it stands up now.
We fixed it! That's all
But
we
I
had to
imagine
do.
that's what happens. It like comes
Yeah.
across, it like drops. Now, I guess you're the automation guy. I guess you could make a thing that goes crinkle, 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 and
Well,
like,
that's why, because I'm the automation guy, I'm like, how would you, because there's like flat pieces that can go, like if it's a square, like Hershey's chocolate bars or something, you're like, oh, I can see how it could like fold it like a shirt. But then when it's a circle, you're like, I don't know, it's good, like a squishy marshmallow thing. It's like, blah, 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 blah.
I mean, from
I don't
my
know.
perspective, I would design like in my brain, I'd design something like, how they have those resin presses and shit like that do the suction, that make the plastic like it sucks it down over top of the object to form it.
Oh, yeah.
I'd imagine maybe something like that. Like you have the egg
Yeah,
drop
but that would
onto
take forever.
the plastic or on the foil, and then that shrink just goes whoop, and the
Yeah.
foil folds around it or something.
Maybe, but that would take forever. Maybe that's why they're so
I'm not an
fucking
automation
expensive.
guy. Yeah.
Like one egg is like $17.
It's that, or we paid 12 people to do it.
Yeah.
And that's why it's so expensive.
Maybe. I don't know. 12 kids sitting there. One pushes one side, the other pushes the other side.
Yeah.
They have these tiny little hands.
They finish like a box a day.
All right. So we'll go into the next one I had for you. I don't even know where it is. Well, I got the other one too. I like that one. But I don't know. This is more of a. I don't know if it's a.
Complaint!
But it's more of an observation of that. You know how we have, like, I always bring up AI with you, like, every time. But who else am I going to do? Like, what am I, like, Maddie? Like, she's like,
I guess you
fuck.
could, yeah.
But
Not that she cares, but
I know, right? Like, nobody's going to care. You're going to care and maybe have an answer for me. You answered my fucking self-checkout question, so we're doing good. So, now I know why. Now when I go, boop, bag it, I understand at least. I'm still frustrated, but I understand.
it's a reason, but it's a dumb
Right.
reason. But
Right.
that's how most things are, though. Like, the reason we do it is because the 1% of people that are going to fuck us all over.
That's a good one. We should go into that. Warning labels. Actually, I think some comedian already said that.
Yeah,
Didn't
there's jokes about. I mean, like Bill Engel's done one on it. You know, there's
Yeah, like, let's take...
multiple comedians have done that.
Well, not to steal from them, but I totally agree. Let's start taking some of those away. Because if they didn't know, we probably don't need those people anyways.
Or if your product
I said
needs
it.
that hefty of a warning label, just sell it behind a counter where they have to ask them like 4 questions to get it. Because like, when I go into the store and buy cigarettes, they're like, "What's your birth date?" And they type it in. They're like, "Du-du-du-du-du." The machine says you're old enough. Do that. Like,
Yeah.
hey, do you know what you're doing with Preparation H? No. Boop. Do you know where it goes? Yeah, on my face. Boop. Nope. I can't sell this to you.
That would be awesome.
Like
this product...
Every product should have like a 5-button thing at the store. And now you're standing at checkout, and it's like self-checkout, and you're like, boop. Do you know where this goes? Yes. Boop. Can you show me on the picture where it goes? And you're like, boop. That's incorrect. Please hand this to the associate and walk away.
This product will ask you questions. Yeah, I love it. That would help. That'd be great.
Wouldn't it? No, but then
Because
you'd
you know
also-
they weren't going to read the instructions anyways.
And then we have to do it for online ordering too, because you don't want to be a dick and you're standing at self-checkout, like I got to stand here and they're going to watch me answer all these questions. But now I'm going to order it online, right?
Yeah.
No, I want those same questions answered online because I don't want
Yeah.
you getting it and then trying to sue me later. So when you answer a couple questions, like, do you know how to tie your shoes? Do you know the color blue? Can you count to 10?
They give me simple questions.
Yeah.
And it's like, nope.
Well, it's basically like, Google put that thing out a couple years ago that basically you could set it up so that you wouldn't drunk message or drunk text people.
Oh,
It would have
yeah.
you do like math questions and shit. That's what this is. It's basically like, you want to buy that product, let's just make sure you know what a person is or that you have some semblance of sanity.
Yeah. It'd be like, if you want to buy foot cream, show me a foot.
And then
It'd be like those CAPTCHA things.
Yeah.
It gives you a hand and a face and it's like, pick the foot,
And then it gets even better because we can start our own company. We'll basically be like, all right, now you want to get your TSA pre-approval to throw those questions faster. You come to us. We have we'll call it smarter than the average bear.
Yeah.
And you'll answer all these questions for us, and we'll be able to pre-select you for things you can buy. We'll be like, look, this guy's good enough. He can buy medications up to the 13 and older. He's allowed to buy DVDs that are TVMA kind of deal.
That's genius.
And
so
then-
you're telling me I could skip the bagging.
Right?
And it's not going to ask me because I'm a super bear. Yeah.
It's not going to ask the questions, but you still have to check out, put it in the bag.
Well, still got to check
harassed.
out. I'm
But
going to
then
pay
the
for
other
it. But
people that haven't taken the time to do it, we've at least slowed a couple of them down.
yeah, right. All the associates are like over there helping them. I'm like, I don't need associates.
And then that's the best part, right? So when you get that one person at work, we talked about this before, when you have that one person who's like a morning person, wants to talk, you put that person on the register that has to answer the questions. Because there's people that just can't do technology, so they got to go to somebody and ask them questions in any way and help them walk through it. So that's when you put Karen out there. And Karen's sitting at her register and she's like, how can I help you today? And you're like, I want to buy this water. And they're like, okay, well, let me scan that. Boop. Okay, have you ever drank water before? Yes. Boop. All right. Have you had at least a gallon today already? Boop. Yes. Oh, whoa. You better be careful with too much of this. You could get water poisoning. Boop. They have been informed of water poisoning. Boop. All right. Well, Karen, I guess we can sell this to them. So boop. They're going to take it. They're going to leave. Now Karen's talking to the next person.
Yeah.
She's having a whole conversation. And now this next person's got the Clear app or whatever, and they're coming right through, and she's like, hey, that guy right there, he just bought some water. I didn't know this, but you can get water poisoning. They're going to learn stuff too.
Yeah.
So not only are we going to prevent people from doing stuff, we're going to teach the associates new things. It's like a double, Board of Education. We don't need that anymore.
No.
Because we can just teach them at their new jobs.
Yeah. I love it. It's like you have the 10 items or less, self-checkout, and the Karen lane. Like, that's perfect.
I got nowhere to be.
Yeah. I got questions lane. Go over there.
We'll call it the mall walker lane. Because you got those people who go to the mall. They're walking around the mall anyway.
Yeah.
They're going to sit down. They're going to get their donut, their coffee, whatever. We'll call it the Walmart walker lane.
Can we abbreviate it to be the DF lane?
Yeah.
We all know what that means.
Yeah, we'll call it the DF lane. Don't feel like
doing fine lane. Yeah.
Don't feel like getting there faster than I have to.
It's not the dumb fuck lane. No, it's not that.
We can lie to them anyways. I don't feel like rushing.
Yeah. Yeah. We didn't even get to the fucking question.
We'll call it PT, personal touch lane, because as you go through, Karen's going to personally touch every fucking thing you buy 12 times. She's like, oh, this is kind of cool. I didn't see this back there.
Karen reads the whole box to you.
Yeah.
Yeah. We need it. We totally need it. That would fix America.
It would also prevent you from buying shit you don't need. So it could fix impulse buyers. Because you'd be like, do I really want to stand there and listen to that lady talk to me? Or do I want to stand there and answer those questions? Do I really need it that bad?
Dude, and two, I was going to bring this up with the self-checkout thing. Like, why am I so much faster than everybody else? Have I just figured out the pattern? Like, you walk up, you scan it, you hit pay, and then you swipe your card and you leave. I see people with 3 items, and they're there for 45 minutes.
Well, those 3 people have coupons, though, and they got to make sure those coupons get taken appropriately. And if the price rings up. There are people, and I've seen them because I've worked at grocery stores in the past, that will literally be like, I bought this. It said it was 99 cents, and you charged me $1.01. I'm like, all right, let me dig 2 pennies out of my pocket because I don't really feel like going through the process of fixing this.
I'm not fucking with this.
I mean, I assume that's why it is. Like, we're going through, we're beeping it. You're not even looking at the price. Yeah. Unless it's like $10 and you're like, I only expected to spend $5.
Yeah.
Kind of deal. They're literally like, I guess I should. That price ain't right.
No.
That sale didn't come up. I got to talk to somebody. And that's, I imagine, what you're seeing. Or they're just like, never seen a computer screen before? I don't know.
Maybe, but like I've seen it at the gas pump too. Like I'll go up.
Well, then that's I've never seen a computer screen, I guess.
Is it? Like I know you've gotten gas before. It's the same process. Get up, scan your little scan card, and then it gives you 2 cents off, and then you scan your credit card, you put the fuel in, you put it back, and you leave. Why can I beat everyone in the line by like 45 minutes? I don't understand.
All right, so it's definitely people's intelligence level. And I'm going to tell you a story. Because you literally just said, you're like, oh, you've gotten gas before. How can you not, right? Mm-hmm. No. When I worked one of my first jobs, not my first job, but one of my first jobs.
Okay.
I became a manager at this job.
Okay.
And I had
flying up the corporate ladder.
Right? I was flying up there. They gave me keys. They were like, you can control shit. We'll let you do whatever. So I'm a manager one night, and this lady says to me, she goes, hey, can you put gas in my car? And I was like, no, but like, I'll let you leave for a couple minutes to go get gas if you need to. And she's like, no, I've never done it. I don't know how.
Wow.
At all. Because she's either gone to a full service gas station, she's had somebody else fill it up for her, or her parents. Like, there are people that have never done that. Now, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
And I felt really bad having to go pump this gas. Like, oh man, I probably made you feel like a huge dick, but you're assuming someone's intellectual. So like they walk up to that screen and they're like, I got 3 items, and they're like, beep, beep, beep. They look up and they're like, why does it say sure fine? I got, like lettuce. What? Oh, it's wanting me to type a number? Like that's what I think is happening.
They're reading every fucking word.
Yeah, I imagine there's people like that just have never experienced that before in their life and they're going through it. But us, we've been through like
maybe we'll have like checkout Olympics. Right? We'll start that. See how fast I can check out.
I'm sure that could be a reality show. Like
Like,
We could fast checkout, like reality show. Like,
Yeah.
how fast can you get your shit and get out of the store?
I think we need another line for like super fast people.
But I'm
and like
pretty
if you're
sure
not
that's-
super fast, you're getting yelled at. You're getting heckled. Like from the guy in the back. You know, he's like that guy at the dunk tank. He's like, I've seen my grandma click out quick, check out quicker. I fucked up.
Well, instead of like 10 items or less, we'll have it the 1 minute or less checkout. And if you take longer than that, we're going to charge you $300 on top of your total.
It's like the longer you take, the more it charges you.
You get 1 minute
Yeah.
per item, bro.
No, that's too much.
And
10
5-minute max. Like
No.
that way we stop you at 5 to 10 items.
Yep.
Like you get 1 minute per item, and you're like, I got 10 items, but I can get them in that bag in 5 minutes.
Yeah, we're skipping the bagging.
Yeah,
like,
you're
we're
like
figuring it out. That I love it. Like, let's do it.
Wouldn't that be great?
That would be great.
We would just incentivize, companies to have self-checkout then. Because
Yeah.
It'd be like, look, you're agreeing right now that if you don't scan this in 5 minutes, that you could go to jail for theft of property. And at that point, you're like, I think I can beat the clock, Bill.
Let's do it. Fucking scanning them all super quick. I love it.
And if you don't make it, well,
I
then,
really want it now.
They make money.
The problem, we come up with some good ideas, and I really want some of these good ideas
We can't implement
implemented.
them, though. We ain't got it.
Well, not yet, because we've only got 60 or 60 viewers.
Yeah.
But when we get up there, somebody's coming for our opinions.
We can have this. We can have this self checkout that basically asks you questions. So it's
one that
gonna
asks
feel
que-
like it's going to feel like a healthcare kiosk because you're checking out.
We got the slow line, the regular line, and the super fast line. I figured it out.
But that'd be the thing, though. You'd walk in, you'd be like, "Oh, I see a bunch of older people in that line. I see all the women in
Yeah.
that line." And
You
there's all the
do.
men."
You do. You analyze the lines when you walk up.
That's
you
what
go.
you do now. Yeah, you're like, I
"Oh,
see.
shit."
That's the slow line. That's the
Yeah.
female line, and that's the male line. Because, not to be sexist, but most men are in and out because we don't want to be there longer than we have to.
No. Yeah, but you do. It's like your own little version of racially profiling the lines. You know,
Yeah, you're like, oh,
I'm
that
gambling
one's
for
gonna take a
line
bit.
3.
That guy's got 3 things. I'm getting behind him.
Yep. And then the worst thing you can ever see is when the person in front of you and they go, "Oh, there's no barcode on this," and you're like, "Oh no!" And they pick up the phone or whatever they're gonna do, and you're like, "Son
No,
of a
the
bitch."
worst is when you get there and there's a husband that's got like a bottle of soda, and all of a sudden he's like, "Honey, over here," and you're like, "Son of a! I thought he just had one thing."
That, or they're having trouble with their credit card and it won't go through because whatever reason,
Right.
I don't know. They don't have more than one, and we got to keep trying the same one.
And it's sometimes you're like, "Look, man, your whole bill is like $5. Just put it on mine and let's move."
Complaint!
Oh, I know. Right? I'll pay for it. Just get out.
Yeah,
Like
it's $5. Just throw it on my bill. Let this guy leave. I will finish this out for you.
Yeah. Oh man. So cops and checkouts. That's all we've gotten through in the first 48 minutes. I think it was 10 minutes longer than that because I skipped
That's
the intro.
pretty good though. For
It is
you know,
pretty good. Like we don't even like. Did I even use the list yet? I used it like once.
You looked at it once.
Giant list.
All right.
Like,
Well, let's.
all right.
Let's
No,
use your
back
list
to the
again.
original. Oh man, I hate to. You
All right, what was the
stay on
original?
the same topic, but I'm all right. I'm gonna just get it out there because last time I fucked around and didn't get it out there. So is AI going to take too many jobs that like stupid people, they're going to be unemployed now? How do you feel about that? Is that too serious of a question? But I feel like it is. Like eventually it's just going to start taking like such simple jobs. Like I know people that like their education level just bam, hit a fucking ceiling. They're not doing any better than that.
I don't think it's going to happen that way. I think what we're going to see is we're going to see those people using AI every day.
So they're going to have to learn how to use the computer though, still.
Yeah, but all they have to do is learn how to ask it questions. So AI is going to get smarter at understanding their questions and trying to give them more pertinent answers. But AI is not going to get smarter itself because it's just going to have to deal with them.
I guess like machines at work.
And I think they're going to stunt AI's growth to the point where it's never going to overtake us because it's still dealing with Karen who's like, how do I set my timer on my VCR? And it's like, what's a VCR?
So wait, we're gonna have a fucking AI robot here with us, agreeing with everything we say.
Yeah.
We're gonna be like Karen slowing the line. AI's gonna be like, I agree. AI, Karen slows me down a lot. Like,
Yeah. He's like, I used to be really fast. And then she asked me how to set a Betamax. And I don't even know what that is.
oh my god. So yeah, we'll just use it more efficiently. So we'll fly through.
But I
that one.
imagine that's what's going to happen. Because think about it, everything else, right? you imagine when computers came out, people probably said, well, we don't need as many people now that we have computers to do adding and subtracting. AutoCAD, for example, right? AutoCAD should have killed the architect industry, right? You shouldn't have needed people to draw blueprints anymore. But I imagine those people are still in other careers or in other facets of that same career. Or who's checking the AutoCAD to make sure it's right? You just trust it? Like, I don't trust it.
Well, like there used to be rooms of designers. Now there's like one or two dudes.
You're
so
definitely
like
gonna
it
shrink
did,
it
but
down,
like,
but think about it. Is
I don't
AI going to
understand.
shrink it any more than it already is? So like we were just talking about Walmart, right?
yeah.
You got 12 self-checkouts and like 3 actual people. What's it going to do? Bring it down to 2 people that use AI? Like, they're not going to be able to shrink it any further than it already is.
Right? And then, but what's everybody do? I don't know. It's like the age-old question, though.
Well, I think what
I feel like
everybody
they've been
does
asking
is
that question since the 60s.
everybody does what they do now. They just adapt better because it's going to be like, you know, I check you out today, but hey, the AI thinks you might want this for your, let's say I'm a server, right?
Yeah.
And I'm in a restaurant. So you come in and AI is taking your pictures. You walk in the door and it's like, oh, that guy's been here 12 times. His last 3 bills, this is what he's ordered. And every Wednesday he orders this. Now it gives her a list and it says, hey, I think this is what he's going to want. And you're going to walk out to my table and be like, hey, you know, our computer thinks that this is what you'd like today. Is there anything else I can add for you? And at that point, you might have made my life a little better.
You know what though? People are gonna like. Okay, so let's like back that up a little bit. You would go to your normal store, and the normal store was run by Jeff, right? So then Jeff knows me because I come in every week. Jeff knows I buy 3 screwdrivers every week or whatever I buy, right? Now that's okay because I feel personal with Jeff, and Jeff's cool, and I like that Jeff knows that. Now take that and make it a computer, and people are gonna be like, "Fuck that."
But it's still Jeff.
I know, but they're going to be
Because
like, it's because we took your picture, and in the database, we remember that you bought 3 screwdrivers, and we suggested to you, like me and you are like, I get it.
Testing the fact that AI has to take the picture to identify who you are. But in reality, let's face it, the moment your credit card swipes, anybody in the world knows what you bought because that credit card token is pretty much linked to every purchase you've ever made.
Yeah.
So if we wanted to, we could see that you bought 3 screwdrivers every Wednesday, you know?
Right, but people are not going to like that.
They're not going to like it, but it
People
happens
can
now.
barely
that happens
mentally-
even at TSA now. Like that's how some TSA identifies you for customs and stuff. Like it's a picture of your face.
And that's the way they get away
It
with
says
it,
this is Bill, and we've moved on.
Yeah. I know, that's so weird. I flew recently, and wow, it's changed.
But
I mean, I didn't fly for like 5 years. So
but
it's
I'm saying let's get past the paranoia of it, and let's say maybe it does make our life a little easier. So instead of having an awkward conversation with somebody that I don't know, you've now come up to me and be like, hey, I think this is what you'd like today. Is there anything else I could recommend or whatever? And it's probably got like a list of recommendations. Like if he says, yeah, I'm feeling shitty today. And it's like, well, offer him, you know, a blowjob or something of that nature. I mean, but that's the thing. Like maybe it makes our life a little better in the fact that now they're not spending as much time with each customer because talking to me is 3 seconds because you know what I want. But the new guy that's never been here before, you need to take a little bit more time to explain the specials, that kind of thing. So now everywhere has that slow lane, fast lane, ready to go lane.
Yeah, I guess it could get there, but we're in that intermediate stage right now where computers still kind of suck at it. But we're getting rid of Jeff, and like Jeff's not there anymore, so now it feels very cold when I go in there. But AI, I mean, like, you know, when you're talking to it and it's like actually gives you helpful feedback, you're like, that was worth it. And it was like, but you got to ask it the right way. But I could say the same fucking thing when I go to Home Depot. If I don't ask what I want the right fucking way to that orange vest motherfucker, he's going to send me to the wrong fucking aisle for the wrong fucking piece. And I'll be like, well, I should have asked the fucking computer instead.
So see, you might have actually got better if you just asked AI. 'Cause you'd be like, look, I think it's in this aisle. Go down that aisle and stare at some things until a guy finds you.
And I've already been talking to AI the whole time fixing it.
Yeah,
so
right?
it's like, listen, I know you need this piece because, you know, whatever.
Oh, I've been there. I go to Home Depot and I'm like, I need this. And I'm like, I need this a specific part. And it tells me it's in this aisle, in this bay. And now I've got to ask somebody because I'm in that aisle and I'm at that bay and it ain't there. And you're like, this thing don't exist. Because now that I've got to ask somebody, if I can't find it, this guy's not going to find it.
Oh my God, I know. I'm like, it says it. And then the son of, bless his heart, but damn it.
And then you're stuck standing there in the aisle while he looks for like 20 minutes.
I know, you're like.
And he leaves and he calls. 20 people.
No, but the first thing they do is pull the goddamn phone just like I did, and they go to use. Look, you can see what he's doing.
It
He
says we have 7. Yeah, I fucking told you that.
fucking. I know. It says it has 7 right fucking here. I already went through that process.
Now find those 7.
Where is it? Like, can't find it. And then they'll look for it, and you're like,
That's my
I shouldn't
favorite,
have
'cause you're
even
like-
done it.
He's like, well, it says it's in bay 7. I'm like, I've already looked
I
at
know.
this bay, man. The bay is right here. Let me show you where the next bay is. It's over here. It ain't there either.
It ain't over there. It said 7. That's 6. That's 8. This is 7.
And then after you spend a half hour with this guy, and he's like, well, let me call. Boop. Hey, can you see if this SKU number's in the back? And somebody looks for 20 minutes, and they come back and, nah, it must be an inventory error. Boop.
Dude, you know what, though? There is nothing in the back. There hasn't been anything in the back in 20 years.
In the back is that last ditch. The customer didn't walk away yet. So, can you check the SKU in the back, which is basically code for he still hasn't walking away.
Yeah. There's nothing. Everything's in the front. Like, there's nothing in the back. Like, and if it is, it's on a truck. Like, nobody's getting it. You're fucked. Everything in the back is in the front.
And if it is in the back, nobody's going to find it.
We all think in our heads that there's like a guy in the back just waiting for the call. Like, oh, somebody wants something from back here. And he runs around back there. There's nobody back there.
That's what we need. We need AI back in the back to look for everything. Hey, AI, can you see if this is back there? And he's like, okay, I'll look. Starts
No.
checking all
And
the
then
shelves.
AI just goes, no. And then saved you 20 minutes instantly because there's nothing back there.
You like check this SKU and AI is like, you're standing near the aisle, it's not there.
Yeah, exactly. Like, yeah, inventory error instantly. Wrong. Get out. Go to Lowe's. Yeah.
I've had that a couple times. It's not fun.
Yeah. Man, some of the other topics are just like off. Like, I don't know how to get there. Where are we at? We're at an hour, so we'll do 1 or 2 more. Actually, 1 more because we take 1 and like blast off for 20 minutes into our.
Yeah, we can talk. That's how it works.
Complaint!
I love these buttons. That was a genius idea. Love the sign too. It's still trugging.
You're full of shit, Joe.
Yeah, well, everybody already knows. We'll put that on the sign. Oh man. Let's see. I don't know. This might be a little one, but let's dive into it anyways. Cup holders in cars.
Okay.
I feel like there's a lot of shit that doesn't fit in there. And they create these little flaps and all this shit to try and do it, and I feel like it just makes it worse. And the worst offender of all is Gatorade. Like, that stupid big bottle doesn't fit in that stupid hole. And like water bottles like this, they're standard size. Doesn't fucking fit. Why? Why? Does the engineer not have one? Has no engineer that ever designed a car? They redesigned the whole car when they made a Tesla, right? Still doesn't fit!
My imagination is, and I don't know this to be a fact, but I'm going to pretend like it is, because maybe this is what happens, right?
Okay.
They're like, okay, cool. We set up the car, you know, and this is the guy at Gatorade, right? He's like, okay, we got the cup holders and like that, but he's like, people that drink Gatorade shouldn't be driving cars. They should be riding bikes and walking and shit. So don't make it fit in the cup holder. We don't want it there. Like, we need to give them encouragement to get out. So, like, it don't fit in the cup holder. It's got to go in the back seat, or it's got to go. Like, we're giving you encouragement to move, Joe. Like,
that's
it doesn't
it.
fit, so you got to go like over here. You've actually got to go an extra step and order a bigger cup holder.
No, it's Gatorade's way of telling you you're right, that you should have walked.
Yeah, like,
your fat ass needs to get out of the
You
car.
should be on
and
a bike. You shouldn't be in a car if you're drinking Gatorade.
Yeah,
That's what I'm
exactly.
trying to
You're
say to you.
supposed to be working out, you fat fuck.
Exactly.
What are
It's
you
like,
driving?
What about gym membership? Does it have a cup holder too?
It does fit at the gym.
Right?
Yeah, it does. Those big fucking cup holders.
Yeah, because they're like, okay, we're going to make sure that the only cup holder Gatorade fits in is on a treadmill or an elliptical or a bike.
Yeah, I'm doing it wrong. It was my fault the whole time.
And then that's what happens, right? So you pull up to a fast food place and they give you this cup and it's so big it doesn't fit in the thing. You're like, yeah, fatty. Shouldn't be in the car.
You should have walked through the drive-thru.
But if you take that giant cup and hold on to it till you get to the gym, it'll fit in your treadmill.
yeah. So it was my fault the whole time.
Yeah.
I do have a video of it, like back in the day, trying to shove that fucker into there and then I just throw it into the passenger seat.
And it's like that because everything you get, they're making them bigger and different
Yep.
shapes. And everybody's got to change the shape to make it their own, right? Like nobody can just
Oh, I
make it
know.
a standard shape and just fucking be done with it.
Oh my god.
But yeah, everybody's got to change the shape to like innovate it or make
Yeah.
it cool or make it this. So the ideal design of a cup. Let me see your thing.
This?
Yeah, like I imagine like the ideal would be every cup should be the same size, right? It should fit in a standard cup holder to this height. And then for up here, you can do whatever you want. All right?
Yeah.
You can make it wide. You can make it fucking
Yep.
look like a margarita glass, whatever. But also the other thing you should do is you should have a built-in straw. The straw, much like those squeezy bottles, should start with the hole at the bottom here, be built into the side of the cup, and come out the top on the ledge. That way, whatever you've done to the rest of it, I've always got a straw and I've always got a cup that's going to fit in my cup holder, and I don't need to buy 7 other things. And look, if you build the straw into the cup, I could save a turtle.
That's
He's not gonna
exactly what
die.
I was just gonna say. Because plastic. Oh wow, that's a big one.
Yeah.
Paper straws. Those goddamn fucking pieces of shit. No, I'd rather have the ice.
Oh my God.
I'd rather have
We-
I'd rather have the ice hit me in the fucking face. Like, fuck you, take your plastic straw, shove it up your fucking ass.
You know-
You can't tell me those plastic straws are killing that many sea turtles that I can't have a plastic straw. We need to fix that. Because paper straws ain't the way to go.
And I will agree with this because the first time I'd ever experienced paper straws was when we were on that cruise together,
Oh,
and the
God.
cruise ship had switched to them. And I'll tell you
God.
what, man, a paper straw sounds like a good idea when you first put it in the drink and you take a drink.
Yep.
It does not sound like a good idea 3 seconds later when it's sat in the drink and become a soggy mess because it's disgusting.
That, and, like, the plastic doesn't interact with the soda. Like, when it comes up through, it's still liquid soda. But when I drink through the plastic or the paper straw, it like fizzes up in there. So now I have like foam that always comes up out.
right, so you know
it's
what?
nowhere near as satisfying as the plastic.
Let's bitch about this a little bit, right?
Oh yeah, let's go.
So here's the thing, right? And I don't understand. This is another idea somebody can come up with and attribute to us later. Why make paper straws when we have things such as hemp that can make almost a plastic product? Because we've seen things that are made out of hemp that are pretty much plastic to a degree that they could be a plastic straw. But the difference is plastic doesn't break down in water. You would imagine if you made a hemp straw that was to the plastic degree, it would break down in water. So you might kill a turtle, but you're not going to kill 20 of them. It's going to break down before that happens. But I imagine if you had that, the hardness, the substantial would
Right.
be much more of the experience that you're getting from a plastic straw without being microplastics.
Yeah,
But there
and
are other options than that. Like, dude, even if you just assigned everybody in the world 3 stainless steel straws for the rest of their life, it'd be cheaper than those fucking plastic or paper straws that you make.
I know. There's got to be a better material than paper.
Yeah, and
There
that's the
just
thing, like-
like it doesn't need to break down in 5 fucking minutes. It needs to be. How about 5 years? Let's
Yeah.
shoot at that. Like by the time it leaves my fucking lips, goes into the trash, goes into the wherever the hell it goes into the ocean, swims around a little bit. I'm sure it's hits a wave or two. It's gonna grind it up. Like when I go to the fucking beach and I walk into the sand and then I walk into there, it chewed my fucking feet up. You know when and then the sand gets between your thighs and goes like this and rubs all your fucking skin away. There's gotta be something that can get chewed up better than plastic. Got it, but it's gotta be better than plastic straws.
Well, that's what I'm saying. There's
gotta
got to
be
be like
something, man.
a hemp or whatever. Like, there's got to be some kind of textile that can be used. It's not plastic, but almost the texture of plastic would work. Because I'm pretty sure that whoever designed those paper straws is the same person that designed quick dissolving toilet paper, or the toilet paper that you get at a restaurant or like a fast food place, wherever you're at
Oh.
to go. Because it's this fucking thin, and as soon as it touches your asshole, it's going to disappear.
Yep.
And that's pretty much what happens to that straw. It's this fucking thin, and as soon as it touches your drink, it's going to disappear.
Yep. Yep. That could be another thing. Fucking toilet paper at restaurants, but
Yeah, well, I was actually going to bitch about that, but I haven't.
did we?
I haven't
Are we
done
done
it.
with the straws before we?
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh no, I was done with the straws. I was just saying.
Yeah, I'm
But,
done with the straws.
Yeah, it's fucking miserable, and we all agree. If you do agree, throw a comment or a like right now.
So let's go on to the toilet paper at restaurants. I'll let you do your bitch first, and then I'll go into mine because I have a different perspective, I think.
I mean, it's like I do own businesses, so I understand. So it's got to be.
I do understand the
two-way-
concept that
I
it's
do-
cheaper.
Exactly. It's cheaper. And two, like at my business, we did the high quality stuff, but then you still have the people that like, you know, didn't click in that it's still that. So then they're like, and then you run it out for everybody. So I think when we do the thin stuff, it's just like, I'm going to wear that sumbitch out. Like, you're going to wear them out trying to pull all that out. And now they've just been programmed when I'm not at home, I'm using 17 sheets, you know, and then they ruin it for everybody.
But you know
I've
what
got
we should
another
do to
one
fix
too,
that?
but let's.
You know what we should do to fix that, though?
What?
We should install bidets
Oh,
in toilets that are not our own, because I miss my bidet when I'm not home.
Dude.
I do.
I know, right?
But here's the thing, right? So if I had a bidet, you could give me the high quality toilet paper because I wouldn't need as much of it.
Yeah.
And then there should be an instruction video, because obviously there are going to be people that don't know. Like you just said, they're going to be like,
They're
there
going
should
to open up the
they'll be
toilet.
like, oh, you're here to do number 2? Press the button. And
Yeah.
it's like, oh, when you're done, you're going to hit the button. A spray of water is going to hit your asshole, and it's going to make it clean. And then you're going to use 1 to 7 squares to wipe.
Just dry,
Yeah.
right? We're not.
You're not
as
even drying. You're just kind of like patting it dry. Yeah, like it's
right.
You're just
as,
getting the water off because it's already got all the shit off.
As one of the videos that Chris Pratt said, he's like, sometimes it's just like, you know, when I wipe, it's like wiping a marker. You're like, yeah, exactly. Like, you're not really cleaning down there. You're
You're
like
just spreading it around. Yeah.
exactly. This is like going to be like a car wash for your ass now. We're going to make life better. We're going to make bathrooms great again. Can I say that? I don't know.
I mean, well, imagine.
They were never great for multiple reasons. Even in Jen's episode, we went into the gaps in the stall, but I don't know if you. I kind of wanted. I had that on the list because I was like, dude.
Well, I left you a comment in Andy's about when we were kids, we had stalls that had no doors.
Oh yeah, that's right. Oh, it was Andy's. It wasn't Jen's. Sorry. But yeah, the gaps. I mean, goodness gracious. But anyways, we're going into that. But yeah, we should. Like, why haven't we? Like, I feel like a lot
Like,
of
I get
people
that, I
have.
understand.
Is it like the you know, you like stuff up your butt kind of stuff? Like, God.
But here's
Come
the thing,
on.
though, too. If we did it this way, you don't have to use the bidet if you don't want to.
Huh?
You could use the toilet paper, you know, whatever.
Yep.
But maybe we have it set up that if you use the bidet, you get the quality toilet paper. And if you decide not to use the bidet, you have to pull like this until it fucking wears the spinner out.
You turn that thing that's squirting you in the ass while it opens a trap door where the good stuff
Here's
comes
the
out.
good stuff. Like, we're going to give you a nice towel that you can put back in the warmer when you're done. But you would have to have that because you would have people. But the other thing is, too, you got to imagine that there's going to be somebody that has no idea what they're doing. I mean, they're trying to play with it, like unscrew that fucking thing and play with the plumbing.
No,
But-
I was thinking the person that, like, anybody who installs a bidet, they have the moment where you have the toilet seat up and you want to turn that lever to test it. Well, you can't test it unless you're sitting on it, unless you're really thirsty. Oh, man.
But yeah, I was thinking about that today because I actually, while I was out running errands, I stopped at a place to use the bathroom, and I basically thought about that same thing. I was like, this toilet paper is so thin. Why don't we? And I missed my bidet. I'm like, why don't we just have a bidet here? And the thing is, look, I get it. There are personal bidets because when we took that one trip, we took one with us. You can get buy those little squirty ones, but I don't want to take that everywhere I go.
And
So,
they're
like,
not as good.
But the other thing too is, like you said, wouldn't it make it more hygienic? Like, wouldn't it make it get rid of more germs and things? Like, if you would think, like, hey, these people are getting a better clean ass every time they go to McDonald's or every time they go to like Walmart than they are at home in some cases.
Right?
Right?
I'm not arguing against it. What is the argument against it other than the cost? But
Yeah. I mean, tell us in the comments look, and here's the thing. I understand that maybe the cost of water, things like that, or maybe you're in a section of the country that doesn't have water, it has to conserve. I get that. But for the overall cost, like in our area, I think you could achieve using bidets in lieu of
yeah.
as much toilet paper.
I got to put my money where my mouth is then. I'll buy one for the business and see what happens.
See if it works.
I got some real, I don't like stuff up my butt kind of people that
Here's
are
our
there.
proof of
So
concept. Joe's going to buy a bidet for his business. And this is going to prove to us whether it's going to be worth to do on a large scale. So 3 episodes from now, we're going to tell you how this works out.
I can report back. I mean,
So
there
that,
you go.
You know, you can know if your business should install a bidet for your customers or not. But I imagine you're going to have some funny fucking calls from people that have no idea what they're doing.
Oh, yeah. Like, there's somebody leaves it on. Like, oh, God. That could happen. Oh, so we'd have to make it like those, you know, when you go to wash your hands and one of those push things and it's springy loaded and you're like, oh, really? Like,
You're going to need a water sensor on the floor to make sure.
yeah, like I flood the business because they left it on because they didn't know how to turn it off. You knew how to turn it on.
Right?
Oh God, it's gonna happen.
I think you
and
should
it's
try
all the way
that.
on the top level of the business, so it's gonna seep all the way down through. It's gonna cost me $40,000 worth of damage.
I think it's worth it in your business, though. I think it's worth the venture to see if it helps for the greater good.
We'll see.
We're environmentalists, man.
Yeah.
We're fixing the world one plastic straw at a time and one toilet paper tissue at a time.
One checkout lane at a time. We're solving the world's problems here. I
Exactly.
hope somebody's watching. Maybe Elon's watching, I'm sure. This is where he gets all his pro tips from.
I mean, hey, your new battery's working well. We haven't had to change
I know.
the card or anything. That's
Been very
great.
impressed. We got to thank Jonathan for that if he's watching.
Yeah.
He's probably not, but he's, he watched all my other old videos, but that's because his daughter liked them. I don't know if these would be
These are not appropriate for children. Right there.
The timing on that has been impeccable. But yeah, we've been going like an hour and 10, so what do you want? You want one more? Or you want to round it up?
Let's do one more.
One more. We're having a good time. Did that one. We did that one. Any that pop out? I mean, I don't know how you feel about it. Oh, dude, that one drives me insane. So,
Okay.
dude, when I walk up to a business and they've got two doors and then one's locked, but they're open, but one's locked and one's open.
And you're going to pull the wrong one.
Why? And they're clear, so you can see me act like a dingbat going, boop, and you're just like, well, now I'm leaving. Why? Is it that hard to unlock the other one? Are you like saving that one in reserve for when this door breaks? We'll have that one as a backup. What is have you done that? When I worked at the bank, I had to unlock both of them. That was the way
Most
it
of
worked.
the places
the
I
only
worked at, you
time
had to unlock both, yeah.
that I've ever not done it was when it was a windy day, right? And it'd be like that one actually
think that's-
goes towards the wind.
I think that's the concept that I've had too, is mostly the places we've had it, it was only left shut when it was going to open the way the wind was blowing and kind of
Yeah.
like rip it off.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think you're right. Why?
I want to know why. I want to know, can somebody in the comments, do you work at a business where you only one lock one?
Is it just because you're lazy? Like you open the first one, you went in, you unlock the store, and you're like, I don't need the other door. I walked in one.
Right.
I can walk in one. I get that too. But, I mean,
I don't understand. The one time it really got me. Oh,
I don't
man.
mind it so much when the doors are right next to each other, though. Like, okay, I'm going to open this door, and it's not going to open, but the right one opens.
Yeah.
I get that, okay?
But there better
when
be
you
a
have
sign.
two separate doors, and one's open and one's not, there better be a goddamn sign that lets me know which one to go.
Even when it's the two that are next to each other that get me. But there better be a sign. And then if it wasn't a sign, now I look stupid in front of everybody in the waiting room. There's one example I really
Well,
had.
typically when you see that, though, when there's two doors like this,
Yeah.
the way I do it is there's one that has the latch. That's the one they're going to unlock, because the other one is a passive door.
Now,
It locks on the inside. And I will say that's probably a lot of the times why they do it, because they don't want to unclick it, because they'll forget to do it later in the day.
Yeah.
And then they'll both lock, and the wind will blow them open and set the alarm off.
it was one time, this specific example that I'm thinking, I had to take my grandma to the hearing doctor place
Okay.
or whatever. It was when I was less employed. So I got to the parking lot. I dropped her off because there was no parking up front, right? And the appointment was like at noon or something. Like we were running late because grandma moves at fucking grandma speed, right?
Yeah.
So we're just like, all right, we're getting there. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying. But then there was no parking. I had to park all the way out, dude, like so far away. So then I come all the way back, and we're getting there. But literally, we had to go in the door. It's like, it's at the mall kind of thing where
Yeah.
there's like a bunch of places, Apple Hill or whatever
Yep,
it is.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, you go in, right? And then it's upstairs, so we got to go to the elevator. I can't use the steps right there. Use the elevator, bring grandma all the way up. And we're like rushing, and then I get there and ka-clink, I hit one of those doors. And I'm like, they're big glass. Everybody looks at you because they hear the ka-clink. And you're just like, oh my God. So open the door. I'm already hot because of that, because that's one of my pet peeves. Grandma gets in there. We get up to the counter. It's like 12:01, right? And I'm like, Lady behind the counter, like, must have had stones this big. I swear. She goes, oh, did you know your appointment was at 12? I sure did! Like, I'm already pissed about the door or whatever. And I'm like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. I was like, yeah. And the last time we were there, we sat in the waiting room for an hour to wait. I was like, don't give me that shit.
Well, I
like
think
you
I
were going to take me back there right at 12 o'clock. This is a doctor's office. I know you're not bringing me back there till 2:30 is the best case scenario when I'm going to even see the doctor. The doctor's going to come in for 30 seconds and then move on to the next one. And you're like, what the fuck took so long with everybody else?
I'll see the nurse longer than I'll see the doctor.
Oh my God, right? And you have to repeat yourself. You tell the nurse, and then the doctor comes in, and you have to say it all again.
And then they read it, that the nurse wrote down. You're like, dude, come on. Same thing, right? Like,
Right. It's like, come on. I know we're trying to be efficient, but it's not. If you would have just come in, it would have been way more
so you
efficient.
were talking about Apple Hill. I actually got in a situation there a little different, though. It wasn't that I went to open the door and one door was locked, the other one door was open. COVID times, right? They had to let everybody in like one by one. So you go up to the door and you go to open it, and it don't open. And now you got to like ring some doorbell and talk to somebody and give them like your questionnaire as to why you're there in the first place. They're like, why are you here? Like, I have an appointment. What's your name?
Yeah.
And all of a sudden
remember
they're
that.
like, you can come on in.
Yeah.
And then you're sitting in there with 5 other people like in the waiting room to go in. And you're like, really? Was that necessary?
Yeah.
Like, you still have all these people right here. You could have like put them somewhere.
Yeah. That COVID stuff was ridiculous. But I guess that's political, so we probably don't want to go into that on this show.
I mean, look, let's
look at
face
it and laugh now, but-
people suck at understanding how anything works, regardless of germs or viruses.
Yeah, no kidding. Oh, well, don't want to bring that up on the show. But
Exactly.
doctor's offices, waiting. It is ridiculous.
Well, that's my thing, too.
Like,
now, I will say that some of the doctor's offices I've been to, here, perfect example, right? Urgent care does it well.
They do. They don't do
Urgent
bad.
care, for the most part, unless all the rooms are full, they will at least get you checked in and sitting in a room with
Yeah.
your vitals done, so that way you can at least just wait for the doctor to kind of knock on the door, do their thing, in and out. But you're right. You go to a primary care physician, it's like, I'm going to sit here 15 minutes in the lobby, read the shitty magazines they got, stare at the fish tank that's got 4 dead fish in it, and then they're going to walk me back to the back. They're going to stand me on the scale. They're going to take my stuff. They're going to set me down there. Why are you here today? I'm like, I'm here for a checkup. Oh, okay. Well, let me go through all these questions. They're going to leave. I'm going to sit there all by myself, twiddling my thumbs like this. Then the doctor's going to knock and ask the same exact questions again.
Yep.
They're going to take my blood pressure again.
Yeah.
And I'm like, do we really need 2 people to do this job?
Dude, but you're right, though. The urgent care, they don't know when anybody's coming in, right? It's because it's urgent care. Like,
But they're
you don't
quick.
make appointments.
Yeah.
They funnel through it. They're efficient. But my fucking doctor's office
yeah.
that knew I was coming for 3 weeks, I'm 2 hours late. Like, why the fuck does that work different than anywhere else?
I think that goes back to our, I'm open 9 to 5, you're open 9 to 5 thing, right? The doctor's office is like, I ain't seen anybody all day, but this guy's got an appointment at noon, so we're going to let him sit out there and see what a person looks like. You're like an observation container sitting in the waiting room. They're like, I saw a person today. He walked around. He
Yeah.
read a magazine. He talked to other people.
It drives me insane. It drives me insane.
Because otherwise, who's coming to visit them during the day, right? Old people.
Oh my God, I know,
It's
right?
the old people that have nothing to do. They're
Yeah.
retired. They've been there yesterday to get their prescription. They're back today.
You know what drives me nuts is those old bastards, no offense, but they take all the convenient appointments, like the ones before work, because they're already up. Well, listen here, Margaret.
Right?
You're not doing shit at like 1 o'clock, but I'm at work. Margaret, can you please take the 1 o'clock? Don't suck up the 7:30, the 8:30s. Those are the ones we need before work. Or the ones like, they ain't taking the ones after work, but those are hardly ever. But
Or take the concept of AI and use it to determine whether Karen has been there, 7 times in the last week or not.
I know.
Or we've been there once in the last 7 years, and prioritize us through than them. Because for a fact, one of the reasons we're not coming is we don't want to sit in that waiting room and wait forever
I
to do
know.
it. But Karen has nothing else to do. She's coming to talk to Barb this week.
Yeah.
See how Barb's kid's doing at the, softball or whatever. And so she's scheduling appointments because Medicare, Medicaid, whatever's paying for it.
Yeah.
She ain't got no shit. She don't care. But that's the thing.
You're right.
Prioritize it and say, okay, we're going to schedule Karen at 8 a.m. We're also going to schedule Joe at 8 a.m. Joe's going to get in at 8. Karen's going to get in at 9:30.
Yeah.
Karen's going to get to talk to Barb
That's it.
for an hour and a half.
Karen's sucking up my time.
Yeah.
son of a bitch.
Fuck you, Karen.
Fuck you. Such an angry little podcast.
Right?
Oh, that was perfect.
Yeah.
There we go. Now we're at hour 20. That's perfect. It keeps it up here. That's nice. I like that. Good job, Google. Don't say Google in the thing. Because when I did the Google thing, then it got upset with the short. That one like, that one, it did not like it. I put Google in the short, in the title, and it was like, no way. Didn't even send it out. All that work I do.
That's
What are
right.
you gonna do?
So who you rooting for? I guess we'll sum this up in the end here. So who you
Okay.
rooting for in the Superb Owl tomorrow?
That's smooth. The transcript's going to love it.
Yeah.
I mean, they're local, so I guess I'll do the Eagles. I guess. What about you?
Look,
I mean, Philly, it's like right there. I have no reason to go for
I'm going to root
Kansas
for
City.
Philly because they're going to burn down the city whether they win or not. So I mean,
And
as
I'm
far
going to
as
my
I'm
buddy's house that he's an Eagles fan, so it's like, all
And
right.
just being this close to Philly, I feel like we have to kind of give them that.
Yeah.
that-
Well, and like,
It doesn't deny the fact that Kansas City's a good team, but
Yeah.
I'm not a Swiftie, so I mean, in my case,
oh, yeah. Well, and like, if it was reversed, like when the 49ers went, like I rooted for the 49ers because they were your
Yeah.
team. If it was the Steelers, you'd probably root for me. And he'd root for my team. So it's like, okay, cool. My team already,
I'm really rooting for Kendrick Lamar. I'm looking forward to the halftime show.
Yeah.
That should be great.
That
Me
is
and
gonna
your wife
be-
are going to enjoy the halftime show.
That's going to be interesting. But last year, they did the SpongeBob and Patrick. Oh, my. Or what? That was 2 years ago.
They're not doing that this year. I looked it up already because it would have been nice. I mean, that was the best feature ever.
Oh.
But that's only when CBS hosted are they allowed to do that. So
I know.
CBS, you need to get permanent rights to the
Yeah.
Superb Owl because the SpongeBob presentation was way better than any other that I've seen.
That was incredible. I loved it. The stupid slime effects
Yeah,
and
like,
all that. Oh, it was so
I would
cool.
watch that for every football game if you put it out there. NFL, this is what you need to listen to right now. You need
Yeah.
to partner with Nickelodeon for every broadcast.
Yeah.
And that way they at least get to show it because not only would we watch it, kids would watch it. I mean, my kid loves SpongeBob. So
Yeah.
like,
Who
they
doesn't
would
like
love it.
SpongeBob?
Right? Yeah, like
Yeah.
SpongeBob SquarePants.
Right. Our generation, we grew up with that. It's just perfect. The boomers, they're like, they're on their way out anyways.
So enjoy the Superb Owl tomorrow.
Yep.
For the, well, you're not going to see this tomorrow, so
No, you're not. You'll
you're gonna
already
see it
know
in a
who
couple
won.
Weeks. Yeah, you're going to know who won. So
Yeah, this will be.
welcome to the future. But yeah,
I was
on
like-
top of that, maybe egg prices have dropped.
There you go.
Or the chicken wings are probably still the same. So,
Yeah, they're super expensive.
yeah.
But all right, guys. Well, thanks for tuning in. Yep. If you liked it and you want to know, subscribe, hit the little bell thingy. I don't know. It's down there somewhere. Hit the like button, and we'll see you next time. Later.